Welcome to Source BMX. I'm Van Homan. Today I'm here in Ventura, California with the man himself. This guy can do it all, Kevin Peraza.
What's up?
We're gonna take a look at Kevin's Mongoose demolition build. Kevin, you've got your own signature frame with Mongoose, the La Familia. I'm probably butchering that. That was good.
Perfect.
My Spanish is good.
Perfect.
All right. Okay, so I assume that kind of comes. I mean, I noticed at all the events over the years, you have a really tight family bond, and I'm assuming it's inspired by that somehow?
Yeah, you know, so the name La Familia came from that. Family to me is everything. And I think BMX in general is a big family and a big community for me. So I just thought it was perfect. So this is version 2 of the frame. Mongoose was kind enough to bless me with a signature frame and put that out there to the world. Mongoose is also known for complete bikes and getting people started on BMX. So for them to do a professional frame and have it out there for people to buy is absolutely incredible. You know, a brand that I've looked up to as a kid. My father rode in the 80s to now having my own signature frame is a dream come true for sure.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so like what went into the design of the frame? Like what type of specs are we dealing with? And being an all-around rider, what were you looking for?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I ride ramps, I ride street, I ride dirt, so a little bit of everything. I have a pretty short back end, 13, which is pretty short for park riding, but I like that it's just as responsive for street riding. But I am very techie when it comes to park riding as well, so it just works perfectly. My seat stay is like 925, it's average. Gives you the option to either run the seat low and comfortably or run it high and not to have the largest seat post.
Right.
I'm 20.75 top tube. I feel like that's a perfect average. We only actually dropped one length because I feel like signature is exactly what the rider rides.
Okay.
And so I figured 20.75 is exactly what we're gonna sell. Yeah.
Truly a signature
Truly
frame.
A signature frame to what I ride. Sorry to the people that can't get the longer version or a smaller one, but
how tall are you?
I'm like 5'9", 5'10",
okay.
So average. And then I do a lot of nose wheelies. I ride a lot of street as well. So 75.5 head tube. You know, being able to ride with Dakota Roach and other riders, Matthias Dandois, and yeah, so just being influenced by so many riders, you know, I've been able to jump on their bikes and feel it out, you know, and I think that's what's so special about BMX. This is me, you know, when you hop on my bike, this is what I feel, you know, and it might feel crazy to you, but this is home base, you know?
And no, that's amazing, because I noticed also, I mean, obviously we're gonna dive into all the other parts, but I noticed that all your graphics on all your signature parts seem to have the same visual. So what went into the inspiration of these graphics?
Inspirations came from just doodles. On my spare time and just to, kill time, basically I just like to doodle in notebooks while I'm traveling or while I want to get distracted and get my head out of the way from other things. I've always been into drawing and doodling and creating designs. My wife is actually a graphic designer, so she put a lot of help into formalizing everything and making it look legit with the colorways and the size. Yeah, I mean,
that's amazing. I mean, yeah, it looks like it has kind of, I don't know if it's
an
like
Arizona theme.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
So
it's Native American artwork.
Okay.
I don't know, in growing up in Tucson, Arizona, there was all this Native American artwork. It's called Cocopelli artwork. It's just basic doodles, kind of like caveman art, you know? And so there's the sun because it's hot as hell where I live. The bow and arrow because of Native Americans, the eagle, you know, and the cactus and the little man dancing on the side.
Yeah.
It's got the little cat, the little serpent on the bottom, and then KP. And then same with the stem. Stem, bars, C, all the demolition parts that I ride have the same style graphics. I wanted it to all be pretty similar and pretty up to date with that. It's got even a little guy doing the peace symbol because I feel like I'm always just throwing it up. And,
always happy.
You know, always happy. And so, yeah, a little bit of everything. I tried to do different but similar designs on both collections.
I love it. All right, Kevin, you've got your own signature fork with demolition. It's got a 24mm offset, which is kind of like a interesting, like in-between offset that you don't see a lot.
Yeah, you know, like I said, from riding ramps to riding street, I felt like it was a perfect balance. I think the average nowadays goes from 28 or 30mm offset, and some guys are even riding 18 or 20mm. So I figured right in the middle would be perfect for my style. When I ride deep bowls and like to catch tranny or get super steep, it just works out well for me, you know. And Demolition was kind enough to let me play with sizes for a few months, and that was the one that just felt the best.
That's amazing. Yeah, like I said, it's not something that a lot of brands offer, so that's unique. That's cool. All right, Kevin, so what about your steering? Again, you've got your own signature stem with Demolition, your own signature bars with Demolition.
Yeah. Yeah, so crazy. I've always been a front load guy, you know, looking up to Garrett Reynolds forever. He's been on a front load. Van Homing, you were on a front load
back
forever.
in the day, yeah.
And so I always said, copy paste what the best in the world are doing, you know. And so the front load was always visually nice for me. It looked cool, felt good. And even though the top load feels better for most, I just think the front load is so much more responsive, allowing my arms to be a lot longer and stretched out, giving me more pull, more. That's how I see it, at least. Like, my arms are completely stretched out when I'm riding. So when I do have that more leverage, whether it's just a few millimeters, it makes a big difference. And I just love how it looks. My bars are 925 and I cut them to 27.
Okay.
I ride on the inside. We make my bars in 29 wide just to give people the option, but I love to cut them. I ride on the inside. I think it's pointless to have them all that extra length hanging out. So get it out of the way for me, and easier for the bar spins, easier for tabletops. Doesn't get caught on your shirt, so easy for that.
It's like interesting to hear how specific everything is to you and your style, and like I feel like your parts and your bike are truly signature to you.
Yes, thank you.
Kevin, let's take a look at your drivetrain. You've got the Demolition Revolt cranks, the oversized 24 millimeter spindle. What do you like about these cranks? How are they holding up? What size you running?
So I'm running 165 millimeter, a lot shorter, just because I ride 4 pegs. I don't want my foot to catch on the heel. I love how beefy they are. They just last forever. They really last forever. I had the same pair for about 4 years.
Wow.
And just threw a fresh pair on, which is nice. They're wide enough to not give you an ankle bite on the side, which is good. They're a lot flatter than most.
Okay.
I do go through bearings more, the 24 millimeter, just because they are smaller. And I don't run the spacer in the crank, just because I don't do crank flips. So just to tighten them up. My sprocket is the Demolition Nada 28 tooth. I ride a lot of big park contests, so I need a bigger sprocket to pedal harder. Okay. Although most are running 30 nowadays. I don't wear shin pads, so I'm on the plastic Trooper pedals.
Okay.
And yeah, keep it flow, you know, until they wear out completely, until I have to swap them out, or until I bend them because I land sketchy or whatever it is.
Do you do any pedal slides or anything on, or mostly?
Yeah, so I do a lot of pedal grinds, and especially since I'm always riding bowls in transition, I don't really want to get caught on the coping, you know. And like I said, I don't wear pads, so I don't want to get any shinners if I'm riding the metal pedals and metal pins like most do. So this is perfect to me when they get that little slide on them and lose the grip. It's almost gentle on the shin, so
perfect. Yeah, you're making this easy on me. You know everything about the bike.
Yeah. The chain is the Shadow Interlock Supreme. Ooh. I've always been a big fan of the Shadow chains, I think since day one.
Me too.
I think I don't care how much it weighs. I'm not a big weight weenie, but if everyone gives me crap about how heavy the chain is, but I think most importantly, if I feel comfortable with the pedals and the cranks I'm going to take before something, then that's the one I'm choosing. So.
Yeah, you want to be able to trust your chain.
Yeah, exactly,
sure.
Exactly. We've all hit our knees on the stem, so
yeah.
None of that with this chain.
And all right, let's take a look at your wheels, Kevin. You've got the Odyssey Clutch Free Coaster hub. I know this thing has external adjustable slack and an external grease port, so super easy on the maintenance. And so what do you like about this hub, and why do you choose a free coaster over a cassette?
So I ran cassette my whole life. When the free coaster started to be more popular, not only in street riding, but in ramp riding, I chose the Odyssey one mainly, or the clutch one, because female boats, I travel so much that it was so much easier for me to just pop it off. If I get a flat, it's super faster. Being able to adjust it, you know, to the comfortability of your slack or whatever you're doing. I do a lot of big fakey stuff, so it comes in clutch for me, which is ironically perfect, but you know, it's light as well. It's just more responsive when I do a lot of toe ups as well, and I think just saving a little bit of weight on that end. But yeah, I mean, smooth like any other free coaster. I think this one's perfect for what I like at the moment.
Yeah. And
I'm down to try whatever it is, yeah.
Hell yeah. And what about your rims? What rims have we got here?
My rims are the new Demolition Pro Plus. They're the wider ones.
Okay.
I've always been a big fan of how wide they are. It expands the tire wider, thus giving the tire more circumference for tire rides or for more grip on the ground. I always say trust your tires. That's always a big key on my end. Demolition has these incredible hammerhead tires in the street version. I have the white ones. So with these Pro Plus wheels, it just expands them a little bit more. Just grows them a little bit more. That it just gives it more grip, more circumference. And like I said, for tire rides or for whatever it is, it's perfect.
Yeah, and if you're not running brakes, it's perfect to have that wider rim, huh?
Yeah, and I even had mine drilled out on the inside to save some weight on the back wheel.
Okay.
And just evens it out. The bike just levels it out. And both of my tires are actually the same PSI all the time. That's always something that I always try to check.
What PSI do you run?
Right now I'm on 55.
Okay.
It depends. It varies from if I'm riding a park contest to a street contest. I always like to stay kind of in the middle, but if I know I have to pump them up so my tires don't rut out in the bowl corners, then I'll probably keep it under 65. I never really go over that anymore.
Okay.
I used to run them at 90, but this is the perfect medium for me. So
yeah,
right at 60 or 55.
Yeah, that is interesting because like you said, in a bowl or something, your tires can really fold if you start roasting around.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you've also got your own signature demolition seat, again, with your doodle graphics on here. So how important is your seat size and seat height for you?
Yeah, so the seat size, I think it's pretty average nowadays on the Pivotal. I chose 2 different types of materials, being a little more gentle on the side and a little more grippy on the top, as you know, when you do sit down, you don't want to slide off, but you don't want to get burned on the side if you're wearing shorts. I thought it looks cool as well with the contrast, you know, the embroidered graphics so it doesn't fade away. And then I usually do a 4-finger measurement on how high my seat's gonna ride. You know, it's just good for Superman seat grabs, toboggans, whatever it is, grabbing the seat.
Yeah.
It's also good for bar spins as well, keeping the bike under me and leveled so it doesn't move out of the way on switch bar spins as well. And I just think it looks good, it feels good. It's right in the middle, you know, and so I love it.
Perfect. All right, let's wrap this up with the pegs.
Yeah, the pegs is almost kind of random for me. Since I've been riding a lot of park lately, trying to save a little bit of weight, I'm on the BSD. I think they're the Rude Light pegs.
Okay.
They're the long extension ones. Dennis actually told me to try longer pegs since I was doing over grinds on the really small ones. And sometimes I would miss, obviously, and over toothpicks and over ice picks. And it made a really big difference, especially with riding skate parks and stuff. It was a lot easier to lock in and be dialed. They're super light, super durable.
Do we got a chromo core, aluminum core? What are we working with here?
I think they're aluminum,
okay.
So these ones are a lot lighter than normal. And I ride 4 pegs. I've been slowly adding more pegs throughout the years. I think my bike is made a little bit for everything. I think if I were to throw on a dirt front tire, it's good for everything, you know. Yeah. But I've been comfortable on it for the last 4 years. The setup's been almost identical for the last 4 years with the 4 pegs, the free coaster, the street tires, the no brakes, same size bars. You name it, it's been exactly the same, so I can't complain.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'm lost for words. You made this easy. Like it's amazing to hear how specific everything is and how well thought out every detail of your bike is to make it fit with your style of riding.
Yeah, of course. You know, I think with all of us, we're such nerds with BMX, and let alone like our setup. It's so important to feel comfortable, feel safe, and to really feel dialed on your bike. So I really take a lot of pride in my bike. I take care of my equipment as well. I think that's super important. Our sport's already a dangerous sport, so I think everyone knows that like BMX is gnarly. So if your bike fails you for not checking up on it, you know, all frames and all parts and everything breaks and bends. So if you just keep it up to date, show it love, it won't knock you down as hard. So I love it. Yeah, I can't complain. Shout out to all my sponsors for making it easy for me, keeping me rolling. Source BMX,
amazing.
Van Homan. Thank you guys.
Hell yeah. All right, Kevin Peraza, thank you for sharing your bike with everyone out there today. Make sure to check out the Source Bike Builder. There you can find price, specs, and availability on everything Kevin Peraza is riding. SourceBMX.com.